Starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people, imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts your physical home is, and it is recreated virtually. Hello, everyone. My name is Syed Hasnain Rada Shah. I am a data scientist working remotely for a software firm in Canada, and this is my very first lecture on Metaverse today. And we are going to talk about the Metaverse. With the COVID pandemic and many activities being limited to inside of the home, there have been a growing discussion of Metaverse. We've all heard of the concerts being held in Fortnite and how Mark Zuckerberg is working to make Facebook a Metaverse company. So, what exactly is Metaverse? I would briefly give you a history of the term and the concept and the transition of text-based virtual worlds to 3D virtual worlds. The term is said to have been coined in American writer's science fiction novel Snow Crash. The writer is Neil Stephenson. Though he did not give a specific definition, he described it as a persistent virtual world that can be reached, interacted with, and affected every part of human existence. Infinitely interconnected worlds. It is used to describe the convergence of physical, augmented, and virtual realities in online space. He described it as a place where a pizza deliverer in the real world could be a talented swordsman. His work has inspired various cryptocurrency projects as well as CGI based movies. So you don't need to know about CGI based movies. So ignore it if you don't know. Well, Neil Stephenson might have coined the term, but the concept came much earlier before that. The Jean Baudrillard in 1981 coined the term hyperreality, a state in which reality and simulations were so seamlessly integrated that they were indistinguishable. Like if you have seen the movie Matrix, uh, they 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 show how the simulation is replacing the reality. So then we saw the rise of proto-metaverse games, also known as virtual world environments or virtual world games. With the rise of mainframe computers, people saw the potential of it to send digital messages with one another over the network of devices. Developers built multi-user dungeons (MUDs), which were like the role-playing games with text-based commands. Players could interact with one another using text-based commands, explore a fictional world populated by NPCs and monsters, attain power-ups and knowledge. So it was a role-playing game, and it was based uh, on a on a famous game, Dungeons and the Dragons. So this is the very first interface of the very first virtual world in the world. After that, we saw the emergence of virtual worlds into 2D as a game known as Habitat came in 1984. It was a multi-participant online virtual environment, and it was based on GUI, a graphical user interface, which allowed the users to actually see virtual environment and characters as well uh, via 2D. So it was much better than the text-based virtual environments like MUDs. So Habitat was the very first game the term Sanskrit, which used the Sanskrit term avatar, referring to a user's virtual body. So Habitat was the first game which used avatar word. Then after 2D, We saw the emergence of 3D virtual worlds. So at the beginning, in 1990s, the isometric 3D was announced, and it was not a complete 3D, but it gave the feeling of 3D, also known as 2.5D. It kept the user. It has limitations that the user could only move into x-axis and y-axis, like in the 2D environment. So that's why it was known as 2.5D. So it was not real 3D. Then after some time, full 3D virtual worlds were announced, like in 1994 Web World and in 1995 Active World, enable people to collaboratively create a visible virtual space in real time. After these two virtual worlds, a game known as Second Life in 2003 came, and it allowed the people to create avatar for themselves and then connect with other users into the virtual world and then interact with other users. It allowed people to trade virtual real estate and also the user generated content. It was so popular in 2010, and after its popularity, the Minecraft and Roblox were invented. These were the games like Second Life. And throughout 2010, many users have collaborated in Minecraft to build cities as large as Los Angeles. And in COVID pandemic, when the Chinese workers built the Wuhan hospital in 3 days, the Chinese players of Minecraft quickly built the uh, the hospital in Minecraft to pay tribute to the workers who built it in real life. So by the end of 2021, Roblox, which is which has many virtual worlds, so one of its virtual world, Adopt Me, was so popular that it has been visited more than 30 billion times, more than global tourism visits in 2019. So you can see how the users are reacting to these virtual worlds. And in 2020, the Travis Scott's virtual concert on Fortnite, which I attended myself, was attended by 28 million players. And it is just the count of the players who joined in the game, uh, not not the ones who saw the live concert on YouTube or other social media. The foundation of today's internet lies with in the collaboration of government research labs, universities, and independent technologists and institutions who established open standards to build the internet that we have today. Anyone with an internet connection can build a website using HTML. This openness of the internet allowed more companies uh, to to be built and reach more users. But the metaverse expectation is a little bit different. A corporate internet is their current expectation of the metaverse. The metaverse is being built by private businesses. The sole purpose is to advertise, collect data, do commerce, and sale of virtual products. It would have a fully functional economy. Like here in the picture, you can see the economy that we have today and the metaverse, comparing to the metaverse economy. Our economy has a manufacturer which builds the goods, and goods are then sent to market. The consumer consumes the good and provides the money to manufacture, and all of this is done under the supervision of law. But the metaverse economy is like uh, consists of four things: the digital currency, the digital creation, digital assets, and digital market. So ignore if you don't know any of the term, so you will get it know in future. So what exactly is metaverse? The author of the book, The Metaverse and How It Will Revolutionize the Industry, Matthew Ball, gives a formal definition: a massively scaled and inter, interoperable, sorry, a massively scaled and interoperable network of real-time rendered 3D virtual worlds that can be experienced synchronously and persistently by an effectively unlimited number of users with an individual sense of presence and with continuity of data such as identity, history, entitlements, objects, communication, and payments. The key elements that we get from this uh, definition are the virtual worlds, massively scaled, synchronous, interoperable network, real-time rendered persistence, unlimited users and individual presence, and the 3D. So the virtual worlds refers to any computer-generated simulated environment. The metaverse would consist of not only the virtual world, but a network of virtual worlds which would be connected together, all together, and you can move from one virtual world to another. 3D, all of this is going to be in 3D because if it's 2D or text-based like MUDs, then it's of no usage. So 3D environments are required in order to make the possible transition of human culture and labor from physical world into digital one. So in a 3D environment, the user experience would be more realistic. Real-time rendering enables virtual world to be alive and respond to input from user. So it's not like that you would see the static objects in the metaverse, but you can interact with them and they would be real time responding to you. Interportable network is the ability of users to share their virtual content such as avatar from one virtual world to another. And as I told you that it would be a network of virtual worlds. So if you possess a digital asset in one virtual world, you can use it in another virtual world. That's the concept of metaverse. But uh, in the virtual worlds today, like Fortnite, if you buy a avatar in Fortnite, you cannot use it any other game. So it's not interportably connected, or it's not interportable network. Massively scaled is the number of virtual worlds would be higher, like in the internet we have enormous number of websites that are connected together, and that's the key concepts in the metaverse. Persistent refers to frequently updates to reflect changes in virtual worlds and never forget. Like if you have played Fortnite and you put a fire on a jungle, it would be persistent for some time. Like after 20 minutes or 25 minutes, the game would reset, and if you join a new game, it, everything will be reset. That's not the concept in metaverse. In metaverse, if you cut down a tree, that tree should be cut down always. All users should see it that that tree is cut down. Synchronous comprises collective experiences by keeping users synced in virtual world. Unlimited users and individual presence means large number of users would be experiencing the same event at the same time and in the same place. So Web3, how does the Web3 and the metaverse relate? Both are considered to be the next generation internet. Well, the concepts are same. The both are considered to be the successor of the current internet era, but the definitions are a little bit different. Web3 does not directly require any 3D, real-time rendered or synchronous experiences. While the metaverse does not require decentralization, distributed database, blockchains, or relative shift of online power or value from one platforms to users. It's also true that many companies focused on the metaverse are building their companies around the blockchain technology. Another question is whether centralized server models can ever support to a nearly infinite persistent world-scale metaverse. Some believe that it is the only way to provide the computing resources needed for the metaverse is uh, through blockchain or Web3, like decentralized network of servers and devices. You know that the rendering of 3D environments requires a lot of computation, GPUs and CPUs. So people believe that it is only possible with the decentralized networks of servers and devices. So how AI in blockchain plays parts in metaverse? Um, you can see that metaverse consists of digital creation, digital asset, digital currency, and digital markets, which are then insured, uh, uh, which are then uh, explicitly used in using, which are explicitly created using artificial intelligence and supervised using blockchain. Like the cryptocurrency of blockchain is used as the digital currency in metaverse. The digital assets in metaverse are authenticated by blockchain. Like how would you know that digital asset is valid? How would you authenticate that you are the one that this digital asset belongs to? And there would be a digital market, like in blockchain we have, and the blockchain would be responsible for the business, and the AI would be responsible for the creation of digital assets and and the avatars as well. So, like, yeah, if you in future it might be possible if you give the a picture of object to metaverse, and it will generate the digital asset out of it through artificial intelligence. It's possible. We can't say anything. So, is the metaverse going to be the next internet? People are talking about it. So, the technologies related to metaverse, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain are the key drivers driving the next generation of internet. Many will try to build or co-opt the metaverse like the internet. Like people built their websites and they were interconnected, and that's how we found the internet that today we have. And it's the transition of the search words. It is the transition of search results on the internet that can only be seen with the true metaverse. We can also touch it, explore, and experience unlimitedly. Like if you go to a website, you can only see its content. You can just interact with the buttons of your your laptop or the touch gesture of your mobile phone, but you cannot experience it in 3D. So 3D internet is the concept of metaverse. As a result of it, we can freely imagine and experience the web world in a much more natural way. Metaverse is described as the next iteration of the internet, and it's the digital layer that is superimposed over our real world, and people access this layer using some kind of headset, whether that is an AR headset or VR headset. uh, it's not necessary. The metaverse can be accessed through browsers as well, and probably one day it will be contact lenses or something like that. And in the 90s, people not uh, in the 90s, not a lot of people would have thought about being able to do the activities that they do today on their phone, uh, on the go. So as nobody in 90s would have expected everyone to connect it through mobile devices, we have to realize the concept of metaverse is still in very early stages, and people associate VRs as being the way to get in the metaverse into the metaverse. So there are some confusions and uncertainty uh, discussed in the book. Some observers debate that whether augmented reality is part of metaverse or separate from it, whether the metaverse can only be experienced through immersive VR headset, or is it just best experienced using such devices. Authors replies to the answers to this question that it's not necessary that we can only access uh, metaverse using VR headsets, but we can also use a web browser like Decentraland is a web browser based metaverse. So we can access it in our web browser, but in future it's not necessary that people would be using mobile phone for their communication. People could be using the VR headsets in their daily life like they are using the mobile phones. So we cannot say anything about it. And yeah, it is best experienced using such devices like VR headsets. There are some disagreements and confusions over the metaverse. Some argue that if metaverse is primarily operated by a single company, then it cannot be a metaverse. Well, Facebook hasn't said whether or not the metaverse can be privately operated, but the company does say that there can only be one metaverse. Others wonder how the metaverse will be any kind of different from experiences such as Second Life. So we're going to discuss that how the metaverse is different from Second Life. There, there are four key differences in metaverse and Second Life. The metaverse would consist of immersive interface, which has augmented reality or virtual reality or mixed reality. But the Second Life will stay behind a screen and have no immediate plans to adopt an augmented or virtual reality interface. In Second Life, you cannot, if you have digital assets, you cannot use it any other virtual world. So it's not interpretable. Uh, but the metaverse would be interportable networks. So you can share your digital content uh, inside the virtual worlds. The scale, the third difference is the scale. Meta or Facebook has 3.5 billion monthly active users, and Second Life at its peak had only 1 million users in 2013. And Meta is spending $10 billion to make it user friendly. So you can see how big is it than the Second Life and the revenue. Second Life has in-game sales which are limited to its platform. Yeah, like you can buy virtual real estate, but it's only supported in the game of Second Life. But Metaverse is expected to have all kinds of e-commerce models that we have today or we don't have today, even like NFTs, buy in metaverse, pick from store or deliver from store. Even some are saying that drop shipping would be in the metaverse. So that's all. As as the as new technologies develop and new innovative companies emerge, we should be diligent in keeping our eyes out of uh, out out of these opportunities. And in my next video, I will talk about how metaverse will revolutionize everything. And thanks for watching me. Please subscribe to my channel if you like it. Thank you so much.